All right. Hello. Hello and welcome to another fun Castlevania stream. So as you can see, things are a little bit different here, and I'll explain why in a few moments. But yeah, things look just a tad different here for the setup this evening. Excuse me there. So I actually had to dig in and bring in my third original monitor, which is like right here. I don't know if it really shows on the screen, but it's literally this thing I'm touching right here. So I'm going to be using that to stream, I guess, classic games. So yesterday I had streamed and I was playing on this 4K monitor that I have right here, the main monitor I have that I'm looking at right now. And I haven't had anything else hooked up to it since. This was the first time that I used it to stream a different video signal to that monitor. And we played for what, two some hours yesterday, Castlevania. And so I got all done. And after I got done, I flipped the input back, stream was done, and it actually had burned the image into this monitor. And it scared the shit out of me because I legitimately thought I had ruined this monitor. And it's not a cheap monitor. And so I was like, oh God, like, what have I done here? Scared the hell out of me. And what's weird, and I still can't figure it out, I actually went and there just happened to be a NVIDIA update for like whatever the recent like 2070 drivers are for the video card. Whatever I did, just updating that completely went away. But what it is, and you guys can kind of see, I can't really point it out, but the border that surrounds that I'm using here, and I'm actually think we're going to switch that border just because I want to see, because I don't really, on the monitor I'm using right now, I don't really care if it burns in. This is an old monitor that honestly has just been sitting in the hallway over here since I got this one. But we're going to actually change this background up a little bit today. So these are all the Game Boy. I honestly never looked at these. I just always liked that space one. I kind of like this purple one. Anyways. We'll keep it in the normal size. Anyways. So what happened was it scared the shit out of me. Thankfully this monitor is perfectly okay after doing that update. No more issues. But I was scared for like an hour last night. I'm like loading up other games and stuff, and I'm like, what? Like, how do I fix this? Because this is frightening. Like, I was frightened by it because I'm like, I don't want this to cause some like huge ass issue with a monitor that's like $600+. So thankfully, I feel like I dodged an incredible bullet there. And actually, I apologize. I realized, well, all this other audio is on. The Elgato audio is not on. So let's go ahead and turn that on. Apologies there. So, yeah, needless to say, it gave me an early Halloween fright. So, thankfully, bullet dodged. And like I said, if there's burn-in issues on the monitor I'm using right now, I don't really care. At this point, this is kind of a junker 1080p monitor that I was planning on just keeping around as a backup anyways. So obviously when I move and I get whatever I set up for like an editing office, so to speak, since I'll also still be working from home. I'm going to keep this monitor. I don't think I'm going to directly hook it up to my desktop because I don't need to run 3 monitors. But I'm going to kind of keep it I think I'm going to keep it for like streaming systems and stuff and just have it as my output monitor, because the thing that's really nice about it is it also has output. It can output the sound. It has built-in speakers, and I could hook up headphones to it and plug those headphones in and have the sound that way. If I can avoid actually wearing headphones for a while, that would be awesome. So, but and if it looks weird because I'm sitting like a totally different position today, that's why. Oh, I'm an idiot. Have we gone up here? No, we haven't really game. I just want to get over here. I kind of adjusted the audio on that monitor too. I'm hoping it doesn't come through this microphone. I might turn it up just a little bit because I don't hear much of it myself. So I don't think it's coming through the mic. The fun of streaming. It's always a new adventure. Typically, right here, sitting here would be my work. I use a MacBook Pro for work. And so what I do, what's really nice is I have the MacBook Pro, it sits here, and then I have like an adapter thing I bought. Also, it's kind of a dock, I guess, that plugs into two of the Thunderbolt ports, and I can actually spit the image. I can extend the display to the monitor I have here, and then I also have a USB-C port for this high-powered monitor. So I actually technically have 3 screens when I'm working, which is cool. So I'm not a laptop person, so I don't even use like the laptop keyboard. I have you can probably hear it right here. I have a mechanical keyboard for that. So like I'm an incredibly fast typer, but like put me in front of one of those like MacBook or laptop keyboards, and I feel like I've never in my life typed. Like I didn't grow up using laptops. I was never a big laptop person. I've always been a desktop computer person, so I've never, like for me personally, I wouldn't go out of my way to purchase a laptop because it's just not who I am. I feel like there's somewhere from yesterday, and I'm trying to like wrap my head around it, but I feel like there was somewhere yesterday that we need to go back to that we can slide under now. Ooh. I guess we should go back up and get out of here. I think we need to go back to the dance place or whatever that was. Oh, yeah, that's right. Did we? Yeah, we've already been there. Actually, I wonder if there's a secret. Always worth checking. That's it? That's all it's down here? Oh. Where's the nearest I feel like that's where I should be going. shit. What? Get rid of some of that stuff. I'm actually very happy today. I got and I already put it on my shelf, and it's something I'm not opening. I already own a digital copy of it on PS4, and it's actually one I'm upset I missed the limited run of it on PS4, but I picked up the Switch version just to have it, and I'll probably honestly buy a digital copy of it on the Switch when it goes on sale digitally, because I don't want to open my physical copy, but got my physical Switch limited run copy of Ys Origin today. Huge fan of that franchise. And honestly, that's kind of like my next... Like, I'm not really going for, like, complete collections of systems. Like, if there's one that I would pick to do that for, it would be the original Xbox. But I like to go for, like, complete collections of series. So this would be... this is kind of my next. Like, Castlevania has always been my first one, and I'm so close to getting that, but I really want to do the Ys series, which I know is, you know, there's some there that are not cheap, but it also blows my mind that Ys 8 for PS4 is a game that goes for $100 right now. Like, that's a game that I've owned for a couple years now. It's $100, and that's just like a used complete in box copy. That's not even counting like if somebody has it sealed. And like, I'm kind of kicking myself for not buying that Switch version of that game, even though I know it's not the best port of that game. I believe it's just a port of the Vita version, so which is kind of honestly a bummer. But man, I regret not buying that Switch version. But I have it for PS4, and for whatever reason, that game goes for $100. I don't understand it. Great game, though. My favorite RPG, my favorite JRPG of this console generation. Highly recommended. It's a tremendous game. I honestly regret not devoting all my time to it when it came out. It's one of those I started like a year prior to finishing it and then put it down, because I have this tendency, and I had the same tendency with like the PS1 and the PS2, more so with the PS1, which has always been, you know, I start JRPGs but I have a bad track record of finishing them, so it's like one of my top genres of video games, but it's also like the one that eludes me the most, because I have such a bad habit of like, oh, I want to get this one, oh, I want to get that one, and then I, you know, start it and I'm like, this is really good, and then I put it down for whatever the next game is, and I never go back. It's like, as I've said before, like my PS4 physical collection is like, I think it's like 85 games deep now, and a lot of those, I'd say 50 of them I have not played, and of those 50, probably 20 to 30 are sealed. And so that's why I'm glad that it seems like the PS5 is backwards compatible, so I still see some scuttlebutt out there about that. Some people are still referencing that article from a while ago that said, oh, it's only going to be the top 100 games and they're going to have to add them. But I haven't seen anybody clarify that since. And then there's that other article that came out that was like, no, it's 99% of PS4 games play on PS5. So I'm going with that, you know, crossing my fingers. But I guess we'll find out on launch day. You know, I don't know if they're going to do the same thing like Microsoft has done with the Xbox, which is they sent the Xbox out to a bunch of influencers and reviewers and critics and stuff, so they've actually had a chance to like review it and like really put it through its paces, which is cool to see, because you can get honest opinions I mean, nobody's going to come out and say, like, oh, it's garbage. To be fair, I'm sure Digital Foundry would say it's garbage if they thought it was garbage. But, like, all these other influencers, like, let's be honest, they're not going to, not that they're paid spokespersons, but they were given a free Xbox Series X, you know, so they're not going to shit all over it. Let's just put it that way. But with that being said, I've seen a lot of glowing praise for the system and how it handles backwards compatibility, how the quick resume feature actually works this time around, which I laugh because everybody's treating that like, oh, this is this cool new huge, feature of the next generation systems. Like, no, technically it's something that's been here. It just didn't work right this generation. So, oh, I forgot. It's the chicken. I kind of want to go this way and see what else is in this. Jeez. Is that all he has? That's his power to turn me a stone. I keep wanting to hit those, but apparently those aren't things you can hit. That's cool. But yeah, like again, influencers and stuff, they're being given a free $500 product unless the thing is utter trash. They're not going to shit all over it, but things have been really positive. Some of the influencers I trust more than others, but one thing I'll say is, like, there's been a lot of scuttlebutt going out there of like, oh, the system might have an overheating issue. And all it really is, from what I've seen, is that the system can get hot. But an overheating issue, to me, would be like, oh, this message pops up. Because as someone who's gone through overheating issues with past Xboxes, there's a thing that pops up and says, like, hey, this system needs to shut down. It's too hot. And I haven't seen any reports of anyone running into an issue like that. So it's all just been like, hey, the system can get hot. Cool. Water is wet. You step into a pool of water, you're gonna get wet. So like, I don't understand. Like, it's just like the most unnewsworthy story, and I keep seeing it popping up. So there we go. Oh, that's why he turned around. I'm like, and I do also think that it was kind of ironic that yesterday, it just happened to be yesterday that Sony put out their PlayStation teardown video, which again is like the most unlike Sony thing that I've ever seen them do. Like, I was asking some of my buddies too, like, I can't remember them doing that for a PS4 or the PS3 or any of the PlayStations. Like an actual company-made video where somebody is ripping the system apart and showing you all the internals. It's so unheard of. Like, we've seen it with Microsoft, but we've never seen it with Sony that I can remember. So it was like the most odd thing to watch, and also kind of awesome. Like, the thing about that system is, like, on the outside, I think it's ugly as shit. I think it's one of the ugliest systems in recent memory. But looking at all the internals, I think, like, all the internal parts stuff is really cool. And one of the other things I really like about it too is, like, it has these, like, dust collectors, and they're making it pretty user accessible. So, like, basically you can, pop those white panels off and just probably take canned air or whatever your preferred method of cleaning is and clean dust out, which is something that I feel like all of these systems have needed forever. I know with the PS4 specifically, I know my girlfriend's PS4, she has a launch one, and she was complaining when I got her Spider-Man. She's like, oh man, Spider-Man, like I put in Spider-Man, I think my system's gonna break. Like, it's so loud. And I had to tell her, I'm like, no, Spider-Man's just a demanding game. Like, that's, you know, that is, she's like, no, it sounds really, you know, really out of control. I'm like, all right, I'll take a look at it. And like, no, this thing's super loud. And so I, you know, at this point, you know, at this point, this would be what, a 4 or 5 year old system whenever Spider-Man came out. So, yeah, I figured I was gonna die there. So I did the, you know, unthinkable of just popping the seals. Because again, at this point, like, unless I'm going to trade that into, like, GameStop or something, which now that I think about it, I don't even think GameStop cares about those seals being broken. They used to. But I popped the front panel of that thing off and just cleaned 5 years worth of dust and shit out of that thing. And it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts how much dust came out of it. I have also taken the front panel off on my PS4 Pro and done the same thing. That system, obviously not as old. I've had it since the Pro launch, but needed it as well. I did notice it get quieter, but not like... And I would say this for both systems. Like, it definitely was quieter after I cleaned it out, but not like this absurd level where it's like, wow, this is like I bought a brand new machine. And so I'm glad that Sony invested a bunch of time in marketing and resources into developing a system that hopefully will be whisper quiet. You know, I've heard the Xbox is whisper quiet, so that's pretty cool. And it sounds like the PlayStation is as well. I guess it just means we need these two big hulking monolith systems to get that type of performance, but, you know. Whereas, like, the Xbox, you know, and I'm not picking sides here or anything, but I think the Xbox system just, like, in terms of a visual aesthetic, I think it looks much more appealing. And it's just my preference. I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of just looks like a PC tower. But I really like the look of that machine, so I'm really looking forward to... I'm looking forward to both systems, don't get me wrong, but I'm really looking forward to, of the two, that one. That's the one I'm most excited about, like, hooking up and setting up, because I'm also really excited to see all my shit carry over, and that was kind of the thing that was the most disappointing when we went into the console generation that we're in now. You know, was getting these systems, and some stuff carried over, but not everything. And my thing back then, and that's always been my thing, is like, I just want all my shit to carry over. Like, I want to be able to play my old games. I want to be able to, and that's how I'm always going to be with consoles. So, I can't even go that way. This area is a hellhole, I'm not gonna lie. Castle map 3, huh? Whoops. Wrong button. Oh yeah, that kind of... Okay, that's kind of cool. There's like one other thing over there, but I can't reach it. Actually, where's that save point? We should just head back to that and save so we can heal. What a hellhole place. But yeah, it was really cool to get the mail today and finally get that copy of Ys Origin for Switch. And I ordered, to be fair, I ordered a healthy amount of limited run games. Not every single one of them, obviously. And I don't think I've ever ordered a Vita game. I was never, like, I like the Vita. I think it's a really cool system, but I was never, like, a huge Vita fan. I actually don't even own one anymore. I have the PS Vita TV thing, which for some reason is going up in value. But I no longer own a Vita. I still have my Vita games, though. I kept those. I kept those because I have some that are going to go up in value, I feel like, so... I feel like we need something that... I don't think we have it yet. We need something that'll let me sync. Alright, so where could we head next that we haven't been? Where? Okay. I'm trying to remember the very first limited run game I bought. I can't remember. And for me, it's like 50-50. Some of them I'll open and actually play. Oh, you know what? I remember the very first one I bought. The very first one I bought was a game called Rainbow Moon for PS4. It's like a little indie RPG. The first one I ever tried to purchase. Was Night Trap for PS4 when they first. But that was back when they were doing those like actual limited quantities, and it was a bitch. It was a literal bitch to like get in and get the item in your cart. Think of like trying to pre-order one of these systems every 2 weeks. Like that's what limited run used to be like. They've done a lot better of a job as they've grown as a company in just making open pre-orders for things, because they kind of know, like they kind of now have an idea of like, hey, we actually have a pretty good like customer base that likes our products and they're going to keep coming back. So now they can kind of do that where they couldn't do that in the beginning, and I understand that. But yeah, those early days sucked ass, man. Like some of those games I missed out, like again, Ys Origin for PS4. I missed out on that because that was like that at that time. So, and now that game goes for a lot for PS4. Switch, on the other hand, I don't think it was the first couple Switch releases, but like the very first one was Thimbleweed Park. That I want to say was limited, and then after like 4 or 5 Switch releases, they actually switched to open pre-orders, which is extremely nice. So we want to we're going the completely wrong way. We're actually, what I could do, can I go? Oh, it's down there. So, but I'd have to honestly look at my collection and see how many. I'd actually be curious to see how many games I've bought from Limited Run now. But like Thimbleweed Park, I was actually lucky enough to get that one. I have that sealed. I want to open that. That's the very first one, and I think that one too was like $80 or $90 already. So sealed. So. Some of the other ones I have sealed, like I have Night Trap for Switch sealed. That's on my shelf. If you ever watch my videos, it's in the background. Windjammers for Switch, I have that sealed. I actually own a digital copy of that on the Switch anyways, but I love me some Windjammers. So, I'm still wondering when Windjammers 2 is going to come out, because that seemed potentially good. I know they did a beta. I didn't get into the beta for that, though, so I believe I signed up for it. I'm trying to think of other Switch. Honestly, I have to look at my app on my phone here and see like what other limited one. Most recent ones, I got Indigo Prophecy for PS4. That's sealed. I got the 2 Jedi Knight games, so Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and Jedi Academy. I have those sealed. A lot of these, like I said, are going to be sealed, and a lot of them too. Like I already have a digital. Like I already have digital copies of those games, and I also have those on PC. I actually still have my physical PC copy of Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and Jedi Academy. They're in my closet somewhere, along with the select physical PC games that I still own, like Unreal Tournament 2003, Unreal Tournament 2004. There's some other good ones. Actually, I guess it would be best to go. Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, and the Frozen Throne. That was my jam back in the day. I played so much on Warcraft 3 and Frozen Throne. Never got into World of Warcraft though, but I really, really dug Warcraft 3. Because I came off of Age of Empires 2, and then there's that Star Wars rip-off of it. It's just Age of Empires, but reskinned with Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. I played a shit ton of that when I was younger, and then that turned into... Oh, I have to go up and around. Okay. That turned into... That's a good like little butler skeleton. I like that. For me, that turned into Warcraft 3. I played, like I said, hundreds of hours of that game when I was in high school. Hundreds of hours of that game. Then for a while, when I was in high school, I was in a clan for Unreal Tournament. Just some random people I found playing that game online. I remember they were all from Kentucky, and I was like kind of the odd man out. And I played with them for like a year, and then I got into Guild Wars. That was the MMO. I played a lot of Phantasy Star like on Dreamcast and shit, but the first PC MMO I got into, and I never was a big MMO person. Like for me, it was always Phantasy Star, and then Guild Wars. I got really into Guild Wars, and I kind of got this clan to convert from Unreal Tournament to Guild Wars for some reason, and then I got out of Guild Wars, and I didn't play for a while. And then I remember going back, and it was just like that clan turned into a World of Warcraft clan. So, but I was in that clan for a year, I want to say, with the Unreal Tournament. We played a lot of Unreal. I played a lot of Unreal Tournament in 2004. For some reason, there was like a couple years there where they felt the need to name or like annualize Unreal Tournament on PC. We always played with low gravity Instagib. That was kind of the hardcore way to play that game. Lots of fun. Lots of cool like custom servers and shit. Actually, before that, do I have to really go up and around? Holy shit. Alright. I just want to get to that thing where I can, like, warp. For me, like, online games, I started... I didn't start online gaming with PC. I started online gaming with Dreamcast. When I was growing up, my family didn't own a personal computer until like 98, and that PC sucked. It was an old like, what do they call those things, like a 486 or whatever. Like it was ancient when we got it. It still had like, we had a printer. It had like the spiral printer thing like on the ends. Loading a web page took like 5 minutes if you wanted to go on the internet. The modem was a 14.4K modem connection. Like like think about where we are today and think about what that was. Like it's incredibly mind-blowing how far technology and shit has come. But like, yeah, that was my first computer, and like we didn't go online that much anyways. Like the thing I would do is I would go online and I would go to Cheat Code Central, which I think there's still a website, and I would use it to print out cheat codes for like 64, PS1 games and stuff at the time. And then I want to say it was like summer of 2002, because my family and we moved up and we lived in Michigan for 3 years. And I want to say, and we moved up there in 2001 because we still had that shitty computer for like way too long. But I want to say, like, I finally got to the point where I like went to my parents like, look, I need this for like school, and they were like, oh, okay. When I really just wanted to play PC games, and we ended up buying a Dell, like a top of the line Dell in 2002, and that was our computer for. I used that for like 3 years. That was kind of our computer, and that's what I used to play those games. And things worked fine then. That was back. You had the huge like tube, 4:3 aspect ratio monitor. Things you just don't see today. Like, it's amazing how much technology has advanced when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm trying to remember the first PC game I bought for that computer. It might have been Unreal Tournament or just straight up Unreal. Or Half-Life. It might have been Half-Life. There's a very good possibility it was like the original Half-Life like gold box thing, because I have that in my closet, like the big PC box with all that. Oh, that's weird. So I just came out. I didn't mean to come over this way. Shit, we might as well just go this way. Hold on. Trying to figure out a good way to get to this shit thing. I guess we're heading that way anyway. PC, man. But I ran that PC for like 3 years. 3 years, yeah, 2005. And then I did kind of the same thing I did with the Dell computer in 2002. It was like I graduated from high school, and I told my parents, oh, I need to use all this graduation money for a computer for school. Like, this one's not doing really well. And they were like, oh, okay. And I did something I'll never do again. And this was before I ever built my own computer or anything like that. But I bought one of those like iBuyPower computers that you see in the magazines, or you would see in magazines back then. And that's the worst computer I've ever owned. Like, everything about it was trash. Like, it wasn't built correctly. I can't even count how many things with that computer I had to RMA within the first year. Like, it got to the point where like they should have just sent the whole thing back in and built me another computer. Like, it was that shitty. I'm trying to remember the things that busted on that thing. Like, I had a hard drive failure, I had memory fail, I had the video card fail. This was all within the first year of this computer being built and sent to me. I'm trying to remember other shit that I want to say, like, that was back still when you would have a dedicated sound card. I want to say the sound card failed. Like, you name it, it failed in this computer. I think at one point the monitor that came with it was trashed too, but at that point I just went out and bought my own monitor because I was pissed. I want to say it's something, and they were always really shitty. Like, their customer service support was really shitty. Anytime I called, it sounded like it was just some dude in a garage somewhere in California. Like, it never seemed like I was calling an actual company. It always seemed like it was just like, hey, this is, you know, Tony over in California. I'm building these computers out in my garage, man. But, you know, I run this legitimate business. Like, that's always what it seemed like to me. So, but I remember, because it was always the same guy. I remember this guy would like get verbally angry on the phone with me, like what failed with it now. I'm like, everything. Like, everything on this damn computer has failed. So I ended up, what I did with that thing is, I think what happened was, like, while I was going through college and stuff, like, my parents had known, obviously, that, like, this computer's a piece of shit. Like, they had seen me going through and struggling with this piece of shit computer for God knows how long. And finally, like, I think 2 years into that, so this would have been like 2007, they finally were just like, why don't you just call Dell and we'll buy a better computer, and you can trash that one or do whatever you want with it, but you need something that works. I'm like, okay. And that's what I did. I called Dell. Again, this was before I had ever tried building. I didn't actually build my first computer until 2014, I want to say. So I had, like, general knowledge of it, like, in high school and stuff, but it was always one of those things I looked at and like, oh, I can't do that. So, I wonder if that's any good. Let's look. Nah, not really. It just brings up your intelligence. And I had that Dell, and I used that Dell for 7 years. And I did a lot. Like, to be fair with that Dell, I upgraded a lot with that thing. I mean, what you could, because Dell systems, they're not 100% like closed computer builds, but there are a lot of, like, what I would consider closed aspects to them. So, but you can still upgrade, like, memory. You can put a different hard drive in it. You can change out the video card. I feel like I did all those things with that computer, but one of the things that was the shittiest with that computer was when I bought it, it came with Windows Vista, and somehow I suffered through, like, F you. I suffered through, like, at least a year of trying to use Vista before I was like, this freaking operating system sucks ass. I remember playing Halo 2 on PC because it was Vista. It was a Vista exclusive game. I remember buying. I think I still have my copy somewhere of Halo 2. It's basically virtually, like, worthless now because it requires Vista to play. And obviously it doesn't matter. Like, they put that game out on PC, so. That's where I wanted to go. I had that computer for 7 years, dude. That's how I originally played through. Rogue Legacy. That's how I at the tail end, because that came out in like 2013. I think one of my very first modded runs of Skyrim I did on that computer. I did a lot. But what I ended up doing with that old iBuyPower PC, and this is gonna date me, is I kind of refigured it. It had a CD burner. It had a CD and DVD burner drive in it, and so what I did was I added a second drive to it, and I churned that into a DVD burning machine. So what I would do is, back in the days of, like, the beginnings of Netflix, but, like, before Netflix, before there was the streaming and all that shit that it is today, and before Netflix, like, kind of won even the original battle between Blockbuster, Blockbuster had a pretty sweet deal for a little while. They did ruin it after a certain point, but they had a pretty sweet setup where it was like, I don't remember what it was called, but basically what you could do is you could get 2 movies in the mail, and then you would bring them into the store, and you would actually be able to use that as like a free rental. And it didn't matter, and I think I want to say they changed it, but like in the beginning it didn't matter. Like it could be new release, whatever. It'd be like a free like 5-night rental. And then eventually they changed it because they realized like people like me were abusing the shit out of it. And so what I would do is I would rent movies, older movies and stuff, and then I would burn them so I had a copy of it, and then I would return it, and then I'd rent a new movie, the same, repeat the process. So like somewhere in my house, I actually recently found it. I have a like one of those like old CD Trapper Keeper things that it's just filled with like burned DVDs that I have that don't really matter today because obviously we've moved on from the DVD. But I did a lot of that. That was like a year I got out of that before. And then like Blockbuster kept making that program more and more expensive, and it got to a point where I think it got up to like $30 a month or something, and I was like, at the time, I mean, I was a college student that didn't have really much any money, so I got to a point where I just ended up canceling it and just doing Netflix, like discs. Oh, should I buy that? Honestly, I feel like I should buy that. I'm gonna read all these though. I feel like there was a special one you had to buy from this guy for some reason, but I don't remember what it was. That's the part of the reason why, like, I don't want to spend all my money. How much is that? It's only $1,600. I'm gonna buy this. Whoops. Wanted to sell something. I'm pretty sure I have, like, yeah, I don't need, alright, let me see this. If I remember correctly, this is the big... No, it's not. That's pretty rad. Alright. Now we need to figure out where that dance place was. I think it's up. I'll try going up. But I did that for a long time. Blockbuster. Like, I miss Blockbuster. But, like, even... I just miss video stores in general, and I've talked about it a lot on the channel. Like, for me growing up, that was a huge thing for me. Every weekend it was like Friday night going to the video store and renting a game. I used to rent 2 games at a time, but that was a humongous, like, you know, grade school, middle school, high school. I loved renting games, movies too, but my favorite video store of all time, favorite chain always would be Family Video. I keep meaning to look up. There's one not in my town where I live now, but in the next town over, that I've been to a couple times. It's just, it sucks because it's like just far enough that I wouldn't rent stuff from it on a regular because of, you know, to be just a little far to drive. But I still, like, I obviously haven't been in there since the pandemic and stuff, and I don't even know if they're open, and that's why I need to look, because I'm actually curious to see, like, are they still open or did they shut down? Because I was reading an article recently that a lot of Family Videos were closing because of the pandemic, so, but I've bought some stuff there, like used games and used Blu-rays and stuff. So there's actually another one, another town over too. That one's a little bit. That one's even farther. That I've been into as well. But what's sad is neither of them are like your classic family video that had like. The classic family video is like the one that was built from the ground up as a family video with the big light pole in the front. Neither of them are that. I had one of those when I lived in southern Illinois for a while, and I had one of those when I lived in Michigan that I used to go to all the time. Always be my favorite chain video store. Like, it's just an awesome video store. Favorite like video store of all time. There was where my grandma lived in southern Illinois. There was a video store locally owned. The people that owned it were actually lived down the street from my grandma. Called Jay's Video. And it literally is just exactly what you think. And that was kind of the cool thing, like in the 80s and the 90s, was there were so many just like independent video stores. And I didn't rent like a lot of video games there, but I rented a lot of movies, a lot of VHS tapes as a kid from that video store. And I would spend, I used to, like when I first started going there, like my grandma would take me and stuff, and she ended up, it was up the hill, it was like maybe 3 or 4 blocks from her house. Like it was up this, like she lived at the bottom of this like big hill that would go up. And although I've recently visited there, and it's not, like, I don't know if they've, like, done anything, but, like, that hill is not nearly as steep as I remember. I remembered it being this, like, insanely huge, like, steep hill as a kid, and it's not, but, I used to go to the video store all the time, and at first, like, she would drive me up the hill and take me there, and I would spend hours just looking at everything and deciding what I want to rent and stuff. And it got to the point where she's just like, just walk up there. She'd give me money and be like, just you can just go. She didn't want to stay there for that long. I was so into it, man. Like, man, I miss video stores. But we're gonna go this way. I really miss video stores, but of all time, that would be my favorite video store. It last that we looked, I've been back twice to that town. There's a retro store that's like in the next town over. Really, really, really cool retro store that I can shout out. It's called Onet Gaming, based on the Earthbound character. Really awesome retro store. My girlfriend and I have twice now taken like a day trip down there, and both times that we did this, we went to that retro store, and then we went over to the next town and kind of walked through the neighborhood where my grandma lived, and I've kind of shown her like where things were, like that video store and stuff. Now, as it stands, last time I was there, which this would be July of 2019, so it's been a hot minute, but it was like a little coffee shop now or something, which is kind of sad, but hey, somebody's making use of this place. For a long time after they closed, I want to say my grandma passed in 2001. I want to say it was like really shortly after my grandma passed. Can I really not go up that way? I have to go. Yikes. We're doing really bad at Castlevania tonight. I want to say that video store closed like maybe either the year that she died or the year after. Because it was not open. Like, it was open briefly at like the start of the transition to DVD, but they never like fully transitioned. And I don't know if it was just like a cost thing, or if that family was like, we don't want to do this anymore. But it changed, and for a long time it became a carpet store, like it's just a store that sells carpeting. It was like that for like And then, like I said, then it shut down, and then kind of changed hand. That building changed hand a couple times. Now it's just a coffee shop. So, and that coffee shop was not open when I was there. So, I really wanted to go in because I wanted to see what it looks like today. But it wasn't open at the time. The coffee shop had like really weird hours. So. Actually, the GameCube that I'm using now came from that retro store. So what I did was, the GameCube that I had originally, which I had this GameCube for a while. It's not my original GameCube, but it did not have the correct ports on the back to use that HDMI adapter. So what I did was, I brought that GameCube up there, and I just explained to the guy or whoever was running the store at the time, I'm just like, hey, look, man, like, here's the deal. Like, I literally need to buy a GameCube that has this other port so I can use this adapter. All I want to do is trade in this one. It's a perfectly fine working GameCube. I don't care what you give me, and I'll pay the difference for the other system. And I'm trying to remember how much I paid in difference. It wasn't very much. It maybe was like $20, but that's how I got my GameCube that I have now. I have an Indigo GameCube. Before I had a silver one. When I originally bought a GameCube back in 2001, when it launched, it was a black one. I even kept the controller that I had. I think I let them keep like whatever controller. Whoa. I think I let them keep like whatever controller that they had when I did the trade-in. And I was like, I'm just gonna keep this other one. So where is like I'm gonna do something I normally don't do. I'm gonna look up a map because I'm trying to figure out where that thing is. It's gonna be fun to do for a second. But I wanted to see kind of a breakdown of where everything is. Here. We want... You guys will have to forgive me, my neck is killing me right now. I think it's because I'm sitting like this and I have my neck kind of in a weird area. This map doesn't really help me though. This one does. Let me click on this one. I don't need that. That's kind of shitty. Let's try this. And I apologize to anybody watching this. Normally I don't do this, but I haven't played this game in like 15 years, or I haven't played this game in a couple years, so. So we have the double jump. We've been there. I'm trying to remember what the name of that place is. It's not the corridor. It's the Castle Dance Hall. Here, this one probably helped me. Let's see if I can blow this up. That map's cool, but first of all, that's not the right game. Secondly, like... Problem with looking the map up for this game is every image I find is like, I want to show you Dawn of Sorrow, and it's like, I'm not playing Dawn of Sorrow, I'm playing Aria of Sorrow. Let's try this one. Oh, this was the one that I opened that was like, sign up for this free account. Like, no thanks. So what is the area before that? That'll help me. The Castle Corridor. Okay. All right. Let's... one other thing. The official Castlevania wiki's cool because it changed your cursor when you go to it to a Simon Belmont icon, and then when you hover over something you can clip, he like readies his whip. That's pretty cool. Actually, this might be helpful. Actually, this is super helpful, but the words are so freaking small. Okay. Okay. So where are we? Yeah, we're in the way wrong place that we need to be. Okay. So we need to get back to the beginning and then go up. Okay. I have the path. Apologize. I got a little off track on where we are and what we're doing in this game. Excuse me. So I think the easiest thing to do would be to warp over there. Should be able to just go down here and do that. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I really miss the fun of going into a video store. And even today, like, it's not the same, and you know, streaming and stuff is really smart because, you know, as a society, it's not the same at all. And it's kind of crazy when I think about there's an entire generation, you know, that has grown up now not knowing what a video store is and only knowing streaming, and it's weird, it's wild when I think about that. Like, one YouTuber, I mean, obviously, I don't have any affiliation. I've never spoken to this YouTuber. It'd be awesome if I did. James Wolf, the Angry Video Game Nerd. I adored his movie collection and how he modeled his basement with the wood paneling and like has his own little video store basically with his insane like VHS and movie collection. It's really awesome. He did a series of videos, or he did, I don't know if it's a series, but he did a like update recently, like within the last 2 years, of that entire collection. It's like an hour long. Highly recommended watching that if you have any like affinity for old video stores and stuff. Like it's really cool. But what I like about it too is like anytime he does a video now that's like based on a movie or they're talking about movies or stuff, it's always in there, and it's such an incredible set to look at. Like I hesitate to use the word a set, I guess, but like it's really awesome to watch. Even when I don't always agree with his opinions or some of the other people at Cinemassacre's opinions on stuff, it's really cool to watch when they're up there on that set, because or his basement room thing. It just looks awesome. Really, like, I've always enjoyed that setup and stuff. One thing I have a huge affinity for is like that old 80s wood paneling aesthetic, and that's actually something, like, obviously, next year my girlfriend and I are looking at getting a house of our own together, and we've been talking about obviously building a game room in the basement, And that's one aesthetic I really like. She's really set on doing a Twin Peaks theme, so like having like the red room like floor and having the red drapes and stuff, which is cool. Like I don't have anything against it, but I'd also like to still have that wood paneling. But I think that would be a really fun and cool setup, and it's not something you see very often either. Like it should definitely be unique, but it'll be nice to actually have like a full room that's just dedicated to games and like my personal game collection and stuff. Like obviously in the room that I'm in right now, I can have some of my collection out, but there's not a lot of room in here. So like, and now with the potential, moving out mid next year, I got these new systems coming out and stuff, so I actually am looking like in the next couple of weeks here, I gotta pack up just to make some room. Now I thought maybe you could do like a backwards thing towards him, but that don't be the case. I'm looking at packing up my Super Nintendo collection, or probably my PS1 one as well. I don't know yet. Just because I don't have room to put it anywhere. Like that's how much those collections have grown. But I also need to make room. I don't know if I've ever shown like what my TV stand is really weird. I should probably show that on a video at some point because it's crazy and it's not something you'd probably expect. But basically what I have for a TV stand, it's not my original TV stand. I used to have one of those like nice like glass TV stands, like with the 3 layers and like the top one's glass. You put your TV on it, and then underneath it you can put your systems, and you usually have like 2 shelves underneath. So I used to have one of those I bought from like Big Lots or something, and it worked fine for a long time with my with 2 of my TVs. And then when I got my 55-inch TV, and I didn't think about it at the time. You don't think about these things. To be fair, I had the 55-inch TV on for a while. It wasn't like this was just an overnight thing, but I want to say I had that TV on there for like 5-6 months. There was a day where my girlfriend came over, we were getting ready to like go out to eat or something, and we weren't really paying attention. Like I don't even think I had turned on my TV that day or anything. We were kind of sitting in here, kind of like I am right now, and my TV stand and stuff's over here, and all of a sudden like we both look at it, and I can see the TV's kind of tilted forward like more than it should be. And she kind of asked me, she's like, "What's going on with that?" And I'm like, I don't know. And so I look, a little bit closer, and I realize what happened is one of the legs that holds up the top shelf is just in the process of collapsing. Like, if I would have left it go and I didn't pay attention to it, this shit would have broke. And I would have been out a nice TV because it would have just hit the floor and probably broke. So, thankfully I caught it in time because that could have been real sad. But, so what I did is, in a panic, I'm like, well, I need to have something to put a TV on, like, you know what I mean? So, what we ended up doing, and what I've used now for 4 or 5 years, probably 3 to 4 years, is we have, and these I think are in some parts of the United States, but we have one in town, Savers, which is just like a thrift store. And so what we did was we went out to eat, and then we went to Savers, and I found this, like, what I would only describe as this, like, 80s or 90s TV stand. So, like, it's one of those TV stands you would find where it's, like, here's the TV stand, and then you have the hole for the tube TV, and then on the side you have the different compartments for, like, the VCR, DVD player, game system, whatever. And then you have a top shelf, which, people would usually decorate back in the day with like pictures or plants or something. So what I did is I looked at it, we were in the store, and I was kind of in a bind because I'm like, I just need something. I just don't want to be without a TV stand because otherwise, like, I'm looking at, 2, 3 systems and a TV that are all sitting on the floor. And so, and the TV stand wasn't expensive. It was like maybe $10 because again, the Savers thrift store. And so we bought it, and it was a bitch and a half to get into this room. Like it's heavy. It actually, where you put like VHS and like and systems and stuff in, it had a glass door. I actually removed and got rid of the glass door because, again, why would I close that? Like I get it for aesthetic reasons, but why would I do that with a game system? And so what we ended up doing, we removed that, but what I did was on that top part, like that you would normally put like a plan or like picture frames or something, that's where the TV rests. So I actually have this TV at a much higher level than like normally people would probably have their TV, and I'm just used to that now. And then underneath it, like the cubby hole that would have the like where what would normally fit like a tube TV. There was a period of time where I did actually put a tube TV in there that I had connected to old systems. I don't have that anymore. I don't even think we have that tube TV anymore. I think we got rid of it. But what I did was right now how it's set up, I have all my Super Nintendo games in that cubby hole. I also have my PS1 games, some other odds and ends. I think her PS3 is like vertically standing in there somewhere. But my plan is I'm going to clean that up, and that's where I'm going to have to put the Xbox Series X, because the system's designed to stand up. It's not, you can set it on its side, but it just looks bad setting it on its side. And, well, normally I'd be a big advocate for not standing a system vertically. The Xbox was literally designed to be a vertical system, so what I'm going to do is put my Xbox there, and then the PlayStation I'll still put in one of these other cubby hole things. Although I'm kind of concerned if it's going to fit, because like that thing's huge. So worst case scenario, I can put that in the other one too. So, but yeah, it's that stand, like I bought it for like $10. I've always had this fear of like I'm gonna come home one day and that thing's just gonna fallen over and collapsed. It hasn't happened. It's a lot sturdier than I thought. It's held the weight of the previous TV and the TV that's on it now just fine. It's never looked too wobbly, to be fair. And her and I have kind of talked about like, do we buy a new TV stand when we move out, or when we move into that house? Do we buy a TV stand, or do we keep this? And I don't know yet. I don't have an answer for that. Still deciding. But yeah, the thing saved me. Like and we've bought other stuff from Savers over the years. We bought a pretty nice couch that we use when I go to her house. It's actually really like it didn't cost that much either, but the one she had before it was like really, really, really bad and needed to go. And so that was the same thing. Like Savers saved us again. So. But never underestimate a local thrift store is what I would say. Like, yeah, it's nice to buy like a couch brand new or something like that brand new, but sometimes you can find decent shit like that you're not expecting at a thrift store. So trying to think of other good finds I've found at thrift stores over the years. I'm not a big, like, I don't go to thrift stores as often. When I was in high school, I used to go and buy shirts. That was kind of a cool thing to do when I was in high school. I guess was go and buy random ass t-shirts at thrift stores and wear them. Used to be really big into that. Obviously, you get them, you would wash them first. You wouldn't just wear them. I used to do that a lot. I don't think that's popular with the kids today. It's not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do actually is get over there. wonder if that's a better sword than one I have. Probably not, but we'll look. Yeah, it's not a bad sword, but it's not as good as what I have. This is weird music for what you would call a dance hall. So I can't get to the tippy top, which is unfortunate. Let me look at that map again once. Where's there a save room? Oh, they're talking about up there, I think. I don't remember if I fought this boss yet or not. I don't think so. Oh, yeah, I super can't beat that jump on this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the current trends are for the kids today, but I don't think kids are, well, especially during the pandemic, ain't nobody really going to a Savers and thrifting. But I guess some people are, but I don't know, I wouldn't. That's why, like, I think about people that go and buy used games and stuff, right? Like, I wouldn't, just because it just seems risky. Controller's being a little weird there. I wonder if the battery's dying in this thing. To be fair, I kind of just, like, I feel like the same batteries, in fact, I feel like the same batteries, yeah, have been in this thing for a while, so if these batteries die, I'll snag a pair from something else. I don't know if this controller has, like, a big indicator, if it just I would assume it probably just dies when it dies. There we go. I'm trying to think of some of the cool shirts I had from thrift stores growing up, like when I used to do that. I don't have a lot of them anymore. I mean, obviously everybody had a Dare shirt as a kid. I actually, ironically, like, I was given one when I was whenever I went through the Dare program as a kid, which I think was like 6th grade, but the shirt they gave me was huge and it wouldn't fit, and so that shirt actually didn't fit until I was like in high school. I wore that one but I feel like that's one you see all the time, like in the thrift stores, at least back when I used to buy shirts and shit from that kind of stuff, or like local, like, sports teams. Like, I'm not even talking like minor league, I'm talking, like, you know, little league and stuff. Like, people, I used to see those like all the time. People would wear that shit. Okay, so we've been up here because I can't. Actually, I can get up there while I can get on him and jump up. But what I need to do is get him to come over here. Come over here. Keep coming this way. Come on. Thank you. Waiter. Okay, I never realized what he was technically called. He's called the waiter. The waiter skeleton. That's good. I should have done that because I can't get up there. How stupid of me. It's alright. Actually, some of the cooler shirts I got from thrift stores were like, obviously before I worked at GameStop, like sometimes you would go in and you would see like game t-shirts from like GameStop or like game releases or something. So like I had a pretty cool Metal Gear Solid 2 one when I was in high school that came in the thrift store that I thought was rad. I don't think I have it anymore. If I do, it's in my closet somewhere. I'm trying to think, there was another one I had too that was pretty good. I think I had like an Xbox one. Those were always pretty cool. Sometimes you could find those in thrift stores, and that was a good day. If you ever saw something like that. Did I? No, I have been in this room. Okay. Was there anything on the other side? Yes. Okay. So we have that done. So let's go over here and save. Oh, shit. Get out of here. What was not super not what I wanted to be. I wanted to save here. Oh, thrift stores. What's crazy too, and I think about it today, I think about like back in like 2003, 2004, when nobody gave a shit about retro games. Nobody gave a shit about like Super Nintendo and Nintendo. That was all just considered garbage at that time. And I remember too, like, going back and thinking about like GameStop would just have like a little dedicated shelf. Yeah, this controller's totally, I think, starting to die. They would have like a dedicated like shelving unit that would just have those games on the cheap. Like back in like 2003 or 2004. That's actually how I got my copy of Castlevania for 64. I got that for like $6 or something from a GameStop because they were just trying to get rid of that shit back then because nobody cared. Like, it's such a different time now because everybody has the nostalgia craze and everybody is like, I want to get these retro games and have a game room and all this shit. Like, it wasn't like that 15 years ago. So, like, I feel like you had a small audience of them, like people that were into it, but not like it is today, where like you wouldn't see something like I might have to change these controls. In fact, I'm gonna do that really quick because this thing's like really acting up. Give me a second here. Pretty sure I turned that off, but whatever. I don't even, like I said, I don't know how old these Duracell batteries are. I'm just gonna take batteries out of this controller here, since we're not using it. My trusty blue Xbox One controller. These ones should be good because I literally just charged them, so. Alright, let's see if I have any luck here. Yeah, it feels much better. I bet you those batteries were dying. It's almost like I feel like the A button sometimes just. I almost wonder if like I hit something or if like there's a problem with the wireless signal here. So where the hell is this boss then? What I need to do is figure out how you get past this little rabbit. That's what I need to do. Let me try this once. Nope, not what I was looking for. What would that thing be called? Time? No, it's being stupid. Here, let me look at this map, because I think the map will show me where that boss is. It's just a pain in the ass, because I can't blow this image up anymore. So we're in the dance hall. In fact, let me pull this up. So we're in the dance hall. Save room is there. And then what we did was we went all the way over. Okay. Okay, that golem. Wait a minute. Haven't I already fought this shit golem? I think I have. I feel like I've already fought the golem. Because he would be at the bottom here. Like, I'm looking at this save thing. And he would be there. So then... if I've already fought him... Hammer, revisiting Castle Corridor, Dance Hall, okay. Big Golem. Big Golem. I feel like we fought him, so save him. That goes all the way through. Maybe we haven't fought him yet. No, I feel like we have, because what does he drop? He drops... Let's go to the next page of this. I feel like we've already fought him. Slide ability, okay. Castle. Headhunter. Let me look up that boss. And I apologize, I'm just trying to figure this out because it's been so long. Okay, the Headhunter I feel like we fought too, because that's... there, save room. Yes, I fought the Headhunter. Okay. Fought that mirror dude. Floating gardens. Okay, because we need to get up to those floating rooms at the top. Which I think... one of these will actually take us to it. Okay. Okay. Man, I'm bad. Like, this one's got me a little stumped compared to some of the previous ones, that's for sure. Oh... Again, like, I don't know what this controller's doing. Like, it's like I'm trying to go up, and the game's like, no. I wonder if the thing is off or something. Thought it was the battery, but I don't. Because, yeah, I'm clearly, like, double jumping, and it's, like, not registering it, like, which is really annoying. It's almost like there's a delay on it or something. Trying to think, like, I don't have anything else wireless going on in this room, so. And it seems like it's only affecting that button. That's what's weird. To say, I can't remember if we got everything up here. That's what I wanted to check. Plus, whatever. I mean, it's good experience, so who really cares? I think we did. So, yeah, it looks like we did. Okay. That. I'm trying to remember, like, how do you get up to those shit rooms then? I feel like there was like a random door or something I went through and then all of a sudden I was in that. But I'm trying to look at my map as to where I haven't really been yet. Because I remember when I did do that, I died. So. I haven't finished going through there yet. Okay. And I don't like the thing that's like I don't know these games like the back of my hand like I do Symphony of the Night. That's the problem. Like I have some knowledge, but it's not at the level I do for that game. It's just like I can fly through that game. No, it's well. Actually, hold on. I should be able to go. I just like get out of here. Really? All the way over here for nothing. What a bummer. I probably should have hit that wall just to make sure that there wasn't anything hidden back there, but what do I have for... So I'm not like anywhere near one of those. Alright, I should go back just to make sure. Nah, there's nothing. What a bummer. What a bummer. Huh. Okay. It's like another entrance. Okay. So we're back over here now. I really want to get up there. I'm trying to figure out how you do it. I feel like there's somewhere else that I can slide that I need to go back to that I just am forgetting where it is. Is it up here? No, it's coming. Oh, it's like down, up, and over. There's also something over there too. We should probably head there. We have to go a long way around. I'm trying to think what my least played Castlevania is, like what one I've played the least times. It could be Lords of Shadow 2. I've only, like I said, I've only played through that once. I have such a strange urge to play that for horrorfest, and like I don't want to because I know it's gonna take way too much time. So, but I have a strange urge to play it. I'm literally like, I'm thinking about installing it and messing around with it on my PC. I've never, like I said, I've never looked at the PC version. I've only played the 360 version when it came out. So, which is like what was that, 2014? Because it was one of those weird like holdover games that I had to. It was before backwards compatibility, and it was like I had to keep this 360 hooked up because I wanted to play that game. Install when I'm done with the stream tonight and just take a look at that PC version. Never played the DLC for it either, which I think involved the a la carte, but okay, we're going the right way. Oh, that's why. Okay. Shit. So that is a place, but I can't get up there yet because it requires something else. Okay. Well, shit. I feel like we've made no progress with this game tonight. I've just kind of wandered around. Well, and see, then there's this whole gray area over here that I feel like I've done nothing in, so that's why I'm going over there trying to figure out why. It's over here. Oh, it's just the end. Must be like another. Oh, I totally missed that. Not that it matters. Guess we explored this whole little area. Yeah. Okay. That was like a whole area ahead and explored it, I guess. But nothing of note in there either. Still missing like an area over here. Still trying to figure out what this little box I'm missing missing like one part of the map over here. It's like underneath this. And I don't know how to get to it. It's got to be one of those like downward, something breaks and it's like a hidden area. Because it just doesn't make sense that I can't access it. Let's see. That's the other thing is like maybe it's over here. Like there's a hidden. Also, like, I feel like there's nothing of value over there, just a gold coin. So what's that gonna do, you know? Oh, that's just a warp spot again. Let's see. That'll warp me back to the beginning. What is in that room down there? Obviously that leads down somewhere that I can't get to yet, so let's go. Whatever. Like, whatever, man. I will say something though. I am happy that I only have one more day of work this week. Like work's been kicking my ass this week, so I am tired. Looking forward to being off. Is that literally what was over here? It's just a little save room that I hadn't unlocked already. Lord, this game. Remember what's down here, so we're gonna find out. Shit. Actually, that's a good point. I didn't think about soul set. I have the flying armor. It's kind of the only thing you have for that one. Ghost. So it's definitely a water thing, so that's probably why I'm not going to be able to do it. I haven't been up here yet. So, whoa. It's like doubling me up there. Okay. I guess that's cool. I feel like I'm gonna get to the end of this though, and I'm not gonna be able to do anything because you need something to let you sync, and I don't think I have anything yet. Because I assume that would be like a. Gotta be something you unlock. So we got more there, but wasn't what I was looking for, that's for sure. It's weird to play. It's weird for me to play off this monitor again, like holy shit. Alright, so I can't go through there. Why don't we try going over there? What's over there? Oh, what I should say is what's preventing me from going over there? I'm actually going to try changing the Game Boy background because I want to see to something different. I feel like that's a bad one. A lot of these are. I actually like this one with like this bullshit Game Boy thing in the back, or GameCube thing in the background. I'm going to do this one. I actually think that one's kind of rad because it has like the little light that keeps going on. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we're going the wrong way. The thing that's cool is like I remember when this Game Boy Advance player came out. I didn't have one when it came out. I mean, obviously it's something I got years later. But I remember this thing being a really cool idea when it came out because I'm like, oh, I can play those games on my TV. That's cool. I had the Super Game Boy growing up because I always thought oh, is this why I could? No, that shouldn't stop me. I had the Super Game Boy growing up as a kid. I still have it, but no, that's what's preventing me. Shit. Like, what is the power I need, man? But yeah, I never had the Game Boy Advance player growing up. That's something I got. Actually, I want to say I bought this from Half Price Books too for like $40. Because it's really easy to find the player. It's really hard to find the disc. And this one was complete. I actually have complete with the original case, which is cool. You don't ever see that, and I feel like it's probably worth more today than what I paid for it. So, definitely a good purchase. I've never had a problem with it either. Like it's always worked without issue for me. this is kind of where we were messing around earlier. Still, I was ducking, man. Why do you keep ducking, man? So the only place on this side we haven't went is up there. I don't know if there's a way for me to get up there. Probably the other very much not what I wanted to do. I don't know why that's hurting me. The only thing I can think of, no, because that's blocked off too. This part's way more known than I remember. Shit. Oh, that's why. Okay. Doesn't really do anything for me though. Like I can't reach it. I just want to get over to that other corner. I feel like this is a bad idea because I feel like I'm not gonna make this jump. Maybe. Oh, okay. Alright. Oh shit. Excuse me. Okay, this is a little bit better. Might as well explore this a little later. Oh shit. What? I'm not prepared for this. Thanks, game. There we go. Getting better. everything in this? I think that's everything up top. Obviously, there's these idiots there. Oh shit! All right. Like, get out of here with your bullshit. Fill this in. Close. What's going on here? This looks very ominous. Like, I feel like there's something more to that. I feel like this is in the same vein as like what I was saying last time about the chicken enemy too, where they're like, all right, we've already made like 4 of these games now. What can we do to make it different? I don't know, make these rooms like floating and detached. Okay. Like, it seems like such a weird and odd design choice. Like when you look at the map and see like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what is that, 6 floating rooms, 7. It's such a weird design choice. So I feel like at this point they were just kind of throwing anything at the wall, just for the sake of being different than the other ones. Kind of like the chicken idea, where it's like, man, we've got all these other cool enemies. What can we do? And the guy was just like, I don't know. How about a chicken that like shoots, that has like a Medusa head that can turn you to stone? Yeah, it seems like a good idea. Like, I like it. I feel like it takes a lot to kill him. Oh, whoa. He's gonna dash. Oh, cool. Just what I wanted, a second one. If one wasn't enough, you know. Now I'm back here, like what? How is that possible? Can I always, hold on, can I always, I'm so confused. Like, how am I up here? And the problem is, whoa. Okay, alright. Huh. That's an interesting design choice, that's for sure. What am I at level-wise? 19. Oh, let's see. There must be something with those floating rooms that I'm missing now. Oh, I see. So it's like it's basically like an illusion in that room. So basically when you get there, I get it. Okay. Well, I think that's going to be a good place to wrap it tonight, which I know I feel like we didn't get a lot accomplished in this game tonight, but I think what we'll end up doing is we should probably just have one more stream for this game in particular, and then we'll move on to whatever's next. I'm still deciding what that game's gonna be. I don't know yet. We might go back to Evil Within. I really don't know. I kind of have to wait and see. So, but yeah, in terms of next stream, we'll see. It might not be until next Wednesday. It might be earlier. Stay tuned. Always check the Twitter account. That's where I'm most active with updates and stuff on the channel. Thank you for joining me tonight for more Castlevania, if you were, and I look forward to hopefully wrapping this up with a third installment. So, and keep on trucking.